I did go to Rwanda to teach a class of journalists, and what ended up happening was that the journalists were one by one taken out by the Rwandan government. One colleague was shot dead on the day he criticized President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. A couple other journalists were imprisoned for criticizing him. Others were forced to flee the country. I helped some of them flee Rwanda. I hid them in my house and got them out of the country. And really, the demise of my class of about a dozen Rwandan journalists coincided with the destruction of the Rwandan free press. The entire free press was destroyed. And in my book, Bad News, Last Journalist in a Dictatorship, I describe that process of destruction of a country's media, what that sounds like, what that looks like. I lived that alongside the Rwandan journalists. So I tell their stories, seeks to tell the stories of these very brave Rwandan journalists who dared to challenge their government and sometimes paid the ultimate price. I also, in my own, when I published the book, I was under threat myself, and needed armed protection from the New York Police Department, Scotland Yard. I was put on counterterrorism hotlines because the Rwandan government goes after journalists not only at home but also abroad. And since my that experience in Rwanda and writing that book, I also went to the Central African Republic, where I reported on the ethnic cleansing of Muslims there in my book Breakup, which you mentioned, and that book is coming out in a month. And so I just got my first copy a couple of days ago, so I thought I'd share it here. It's called Breakup, Marriage in Wartime, and so I've been reporting on. I both personally experienced threats from governments who don't like the reporting that I do, and I've also made it my job to write about other journalists who are under threat.